Hello guys, and welcome to another video from Oscar Cooper. I hope you are all well. Just a quick one, if you are new to me or new to this channel, go and check out the description because I've got a whole bunch of couch co-op and split screen lists that precede this one, and I've got loads more games in them, so please check that out. Well, it seems like that long ago that I was reviewing the first one of these games. It's Battlefront 2 Star Wars. Let's just check this out. Remember, this is a ranked list, so I've got 5 games and I've put them in order of strength. I think Battlefront 1 was a really okay split screen game. I thought it was, it didn't do very well on the campaign level, obviously, didn't even have a campaign. But this, it kind of looks after you a little bit better. But there are a few things lacking in the split screen area that I would have liked to have seen, but what you have got is a no split screen campaign or multiplayer, but you do have a split screen arcade mode. And this is pretty cool because, as you can see, you can have a versus mode as well, so you can go against each other, but annoyingly, you don't seem to be able to access any of the vehicles. But what I like to do is go to the custom arcade and set up my own scenario. You can be light or dark, and you can be on a big team, or it can be smaller. You can set the enemy AI. There's quite a lot of variables here, so that's pretty cool. The whole loot crate, pay to win, battle cards debacle doesn't really affect you with the split screen mode. You can unlock and access the cards as you do it on the multiplayer or campaign, so that's fine. And I would never give this game a microtransaction anyway, so I coped fine without it all. It looks very good. Obviously, it's very loyal to the series, and the soundtracks and the noisy little guns and everything are pretty cool. I'd say it's the weaker on this list. There's not as much in the first one, but if you own it and if you haven't tried the split screen mode, go check it out, because it's certainly not empty. There's a hell of a lot to do in there. So again, it's our second AAA title on this list already, and a game that came out pretty recently. And if you know about the Call of Duty series, I'm a big fan of Black Ops 3. That was a really good split screen game, and I didn't look at Advanced Warfare much, but I wanted to have a look at this because I'm a big fan of a certain mode on this, which I'll talk about in a minute. But I just wanted to explore what it allows you to do on a split screen level in regards to, I don't know, maybe a co-op campaign or maybe a bit of the multiplayer. Yes to everything. You can do the campaign, and I think you can go online as a guest. You may need a PSN account, but more importantly, it doesn't hide any of the game content away from you just because you've asked for split screen. And the Call of Duty series have always been really good with that. And split screen gets is in a tough time, and it's still cool to see AAA studios take care of it. The variables are pretty cool. The classes are pretty good as well. And just like all Call of Duties, your XP will carry over, so if you sign in, you kind of have a bit of an advantage against anyone who's just a guest or has just come around your house to have a look at it. But I love the Second World War aesthetic. It's very well. It's a lot more grittier than some of the other maps that we've seen in the multiplayer. But it's a really cool idea to inject enemy AI into a small map where you and a friend are either on the same team or just a free-for-all game. You know what I mean? You can muck about. You can learn how the game works on a multiplayer level and just be at peace with the fact that it's just you and a mate having a cool time, testing out all the guns, testing out all the kill streaks, etc. But we all know why this game is a split screen buy, and it's because of that zombies mode. And the zombies mode here is pretty damn lavish, to be honest with you. Maps are unlockable as you go through, or you get 2 off the bat. One of my favourites is the larger town one. There's also one in the house. But this game is synonymous, especially the zombies mode, with horde and horde modes, and I love those on a split screen level. And it does exactly what it says it's supposed to do on the tin. There's cool stuff to find, unlock new doors, unlock new weapons. As you all know, there's this funny little weird story always going on in the background of these zombie modes. Definitely worth a look, and there's some boss zombies as well, which are pretty awesome. Yeah, I'm totally aware of how late to the party I am with this one, but Magica 2, and I think we did have it free as well, didn't we, a couple of months ago? So you're all probably well aware of this, and I've been pushed to look at it a lot from the views on the channel. Everyone's like, where the hell is Magica? Where's Magica 2? And I got round to having a look, and it's so cool on a number of levels in a number of different directions because of it's got this amazing sense of humour. The game's really funny, and again, we've got quite a lot of customizable stuff. It's a twin stick. classic shooter really, but with a really in-depth combat mechanic which involves amalgamating spells and then using them, and it's quite a lot to take on board at the beginning, to be honest with you. You know, it's quite daunting to jostle all these buttons. It's blatantly made for the PC and having a mouse, so you see a lot of that coming out with the controls. But down on the left you can see that we're toggling on, toggling off different magic types, and then we're pressing X or whatever to load them in and then use them, and in different combinations produce all kinds of different magic, be it like electricity that will jump from one monster to another, to just out and out rocks or elemental fire. It's really cool. You just keep trying stuff out, and it's so occupying that sometimes you're not paying attention with what's going on in front of you, because you're just trying to like pull up this spell, healing and stuff. You heal another player and stuff. So it's kind of like Helldivers meets Lord of the Rings meets maybe a Matfall type game, your Alienation, your Housemarque, something like that. It's really good. That's really addictive. Getting the unlocks and getting into this game, I love it loads. It seems like we're going back in time the higher we get up on this video, and some of that is actually true, because I'm kind of reaching the limit with the amount of games that I can put on the channel, because I don't want to repeat, but I also want to show you guys some of the coolest stuff. And this Lara Croft, the Temple of Osiris, is one of the coolest multiplayer same screen games, 4-player on this one. So it's kind of billed as a puzzler. It's not that much of a puzzle. Don't let that put you off. I know what you mean. You know, co-op puzzle games can be a headache, but the gunplay is really awesome, and everyone's got their sort of own perks and own gun, and the 4 characters are quite different. Some of them are the Egyptians, who have got the just sort of weird traditional beam weapon, and then you've got Laura and her mates who have got like pistols and revolvers and stuff. So it's actually very cool, and it's really held up well. It's bloody old, this game, and not expensive either. So if this is the first you've heard of it, you should have a look. Look at the detail on all the slot in, slots outs on all the characters. There's an RPG level of upgradability in this game, which can't be ignored. It's very much in depth. It is not a sort of two-dimensional a game that involves sort of ranking up. You get all this equipment and slot in, slot out, and the puzzles are not tedious. They're funny as hell, and there's quite a lot of laughs to be had with this game when you're all trying to get your shit together and work stuff out. It's very good, online and offline. The fact that it's got 4 players available for it makes it really attractive to me, and the fact that I'm just annoyed that I didn't get to it before. This Lara Croft game is really worth a look, guys. I thoroughly recommend it. Yes, I told you we were going back in time, and of course my number one for this list for split screen co-op campaign, or even just split screen crazy fun, is Resident Evil 5. I'm massive on Resident Evil 4. I understand how huge a game that was in the industry, but I don't want to you guys be put off by Resident Evil 6, because that was a fucking disaster. This is kind of the best of both worlds, because it's actually got a very strong campaign and a really good looking campaign as well. The game had a mild remaster when it got put on the PlayStation 4, but it comes in with all of the DLC. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But the campaign is solid. It is really solid. It's so nice to play a decent Resident Evil game with someone else, online or in the same room. And you see how they've done this with the screens. It's not a straight split. Now, when I had this on the Xbox 360, when we did this, the resolution just went down the pan. It was almost unplayable, but this is flawless. It looks stunning. Both these screens, the definition on them is perfect. It's fine. Nothing's really sacrificed when the screen split. And as a one-player campaign game, it still looks incredible. I like the campaign because it draws you in, and it's got some really clever boss fights, and the environments that it offers you are awesome. And remember, I can't remember how old this game is, but this game is goddamn. It was old when I had it on the 360, and I still remember back then. I don't think I even had an HD TV, and I was still stunned at how good it looks, and it looks really great still. It hasn't taken any hits. That's the sign of a quality game. Now, Also, atmospherically, this is one of those turn the lights off, get creeped out games as well. It's got some really cool environmental sounds and sort of music and cinematic techniques that get you genuinely shitted up, and I love that. It's cool to have it's a horror game with guns and available full-blown co-op right the way through the campaign. But there's something else on this disc that makes this far more attractive, and it's the Mercenaries mode. This Mercenaries mode, if it was, and it was available on the DS as a standalone game, this as an add-on is bloody jaw-dropping. It's absolutely awesome. Let me explain why. You get a whole bunch of maps. Okay, now annoyingly, all the maps are unlocked on this bumper pack. Bumper. No one uses that word anymore. But one of the incentives to play Mercenaries was to unlock more maps, unlock more characters. But you get them all off the bat, which is all right. Don't worry, I can deal with it. But look how cool this is. Everyone's here. Even Barry's here, right? And they've all got their own layout, their own loadout with the weapon types. And what you're doing is you're in an arena, a really massive, intricate arena, and you are queuing up killing zombies. You're basically getting combos. So if a zombie's killed within a time, you can see in the top right there, it goes up. Your score goes up. And what they do is they start pushing in mini bosses and super strong zombies, and it's just so awesome to like rescue a mate who's in trouble. And you have to find these timed. The whole thing's time. You want to be in there as long as you can, and you have to find these massive golden penises and hit them, and that gives you the another 30 seconds or whatever it is. You want to be in there as long as you can to rack up the biggest score and the biggest combo. And it is so addictive, especially changing the characters up and doing it same room co-op and doing it online. Amazing. The Mercenaries mode is the best thing on this goddamn list, full stop, in Resident Evil 5. Go and have a look at this if you haven't already. Guys, I'm going to say thank you very much. Remember, if you're new, stick with me, subscribe. I've got loads happening this year. And as always, I will see you down there.